the main character Aaron, the things I found funny about it, like they have all these tools, they teach him the ropes. He learns how to read something called the white tears meter, which is literally a meter from green to red being dangerous, and the amount of white tears or frustration that maybe a white person is feeling, and then it's that person's job to try to calm them down and make it feel comfortable. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything, and I'm here to talk about make sure I get this name right, the American Society of Magical Negroes. Came out over the weekend, and I was on the fence about watching it at first, but I'm actually glad I did. It actually was much better than I thought, and I actually thought it was, well written and everything else. But before we get into more details, if this is your first time on this page, please hit that like and subscribe button. And hey, let me know what you think in the comments. If you saw this movie, what were your thoughts? Liked it, disliked it, whatever the case is. So before we get into it, just to give you the plot. This is a movie about our main character by the name of Aaron, and he is recruited by this secret society of magical Negroes, and they are here to do what they feel is saving the world, or a task that is of the utmost importance, which is making white people's lives easier. The reason being is because they have a theory that whenever white people feel uncomfortable, then that's when unarmed black men and women pass away. So the more you make them comfortable, the easier lives for black people. Once again, this is a movie, complete satire. What else can I say? I will say this: if you are easily offended by white privilege, easily offended by, comedy topics where, that revolves around racism, this movie may not be for you. And even as a black person, if the whole idea of magical Negroes is offensive to you or makes you uncomfortable, you will also not enjoy this movie. And for those who are unfamiliar, the term magical Negro is a movie term, or in books, things of that nature, and it's a black character whose main purpose, and they're normally kind of stereotypical, but their main purpose is to make the white protagonist's life easier, or just help them feel better, therefore further accomplishing that white protagonist goal. Two big examples, which they did take jabs at in the movie, would be rest in peace to Michael Clark Duncan, but for example, John Coffey in The Green Mile would be an example of the magical Negro. Will Smith's character, the Legend of Bagger Vance, another example. So these are just men who, for the purpose of the movie, they were just magically around, giving out folk wisdom and just all type of knowledge, as well as a little sprinkle of magic to help the white protagonists achieve their goal, make them comfortable throughout the movie. So that's what it is. And I thought this was well written. I feel like even the title and what the movie is about is brilliant. Like I said, with the title being American Society for Magical Negroes, you already know it's about race. I, for one, can admit it made me uncomfortable hearing that title, and I was really on the fence about seeing the movie. But ironically, when you see the movie, pardon me, ironically, when you see the movie, once again, the entire movie is based on this secret society of magical Negroes who is prone to make white people's lives better in order to keep black people safe. It's almost like they feel like they're just doing the behind the scenes work to prevent, unnecessary deaths, things of that nature. Justin Smith is the actor who plays our main character, Aaron. David Alan Grier is one of the seasoned veterans within this American society. And with that being said, David Alan Grier's character sees a lot of potential in Aaron, and therefore pursued to recruit him. Things I found funny in this movie, once again, just the obvious jabs that they take at Green Mile and The Legend of Bagger Vance. Once again, two movies that actually, either won awards or were seriously considered to win awards. So it's really over the top, exaggerated jabs throughout the movie with that. Now, once again, definitely some jabs at white privilege. Don't want to give the whole movie away, but if you've seen it, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to the career paths and things of that nature. So yeah, that's what it's really about. And once again, the main character Aaron, the things I found funny about it, like they have all these tools, they teach him the ropes. He learns how to read something called the white tears meter, which is literally a meter from green to red being dangerous, and the amount of white tears or frustration that maybe a white person is feeling, and then it's that person's job to try to calm them down and make it feel comfortable. So it's just a funny movie. Once again, if racism is uncomfortable for you, it may not be for you, but it definitely has a comedic approach to that. And I really feel like it's more relatable to black people than I thought. At least I'll speak for myself. There's been plenty, there's been some times to where, you act one way in your house, but when you're out there in the real world, whether you're dealing with anybody of any race, you may put on a mask in order to make yourself, approach, like non-threatening, easily approachable, stuff like that. A good example that I know some black comedians have had is like the voice that a mother would put on when they're not on the phone, and then if somebody calls, they put on their professional white voice if it's a business call or anything like that. So it might be a bad example, maybe a reach, but I really feel like it's relatable to that. I do feel like sometimes, once again, not even dealing with white people alone, I do feel like there are times to where black men and women feel like they may have to put on an act or put on a different type of mask when facing the general public, because you don't want to be just hit with this angry black man or angry black woman stereotype. So stuff like that. So the movie really touches with a serious message, despite its satirical or comedic approach to such a serious topic. And I'll leave it on this note. You may see a lot of negative reviews. Like I know I go to Rotten Tomato once in a while. There have been like some negative reviews with it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the tomato meter itself is giving it like a 30% last time I checked. But the audience score, people who aren't necessarily, key movie critics or whatever, the audience score is like a 65, 70%. So I really feel like those who may have given it a low score gave it a low score mainly because perhaps they're uncomfortable with, the topic at hand. Especially if you're white. I do feel like there are a lot of jokes to where white people are literally the butt of the jokes. Once again, the whole movie is about how, these magical black people are reading your white tears. They can sense your discomfort, and their whole job is to try to cater to you and make you feel comfortable. But there is a good twist in the movie to where our main character, Aaron, played by Justice Smith, is actually challenged to, or tempted to, put his needs before this assigned white person that he has to be a magical Negro for. So the big challenge is, will he do what's best for himself or sacrifice what makes him feel good in order to make white person he's assigned to feel good or feel comfortable. So it's actually a good movie. I'll say check it out, especially if those things mentioned earlier in the video don't make you uncomfortable. That's my review. Love it or hate it. Peace.